participate in the delivery of the K-12 program, what I'm seeing is that we can engage, for example, the test centers to provide the practicum, the training that some of our students might need, because we recognize that not all our secondary schools will have the facilities and the teachers to be able to teach these courses. So they might be engaged to deliver the required services. So that's one area. The other area is that some of our children who have decided, for example, to do tech-book as a focus of study or as an area of specialization might also want to do further training and go to a test center to obtain that or to acquire additional skills. So that's another possibility. So we're not ruling out post-secondary technical vocational program after high school. So it will still be there. The teachers who will handle tech book should be NC holders. That rule, that guideline, that policy still applies. So it isn't as though that when we offer tech book, anyone can just teach tech book. The basic qualification remains that the teacher who will handle tech book should be an NC holder. In the teacher training, the test centers might be engaged as well. So nothing has changed in regard to the place of tech book in the entire education system.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's okay. No, we want you here.
Good afternoon. I'm Sally Sanchez from the National Council of Media Affairs. There is such a term as sheltered employment, which we believe, if I may, I would recommend it to the inclusion in the secondary education program as they go up to the K-12 program, because right now it's also part of the vocational program under the ILO, many programs for able and disabled as well, and social adjustment would be undertaken in that particular area. So I think it's best if we also consider sheltered employment as I think appropriate for our setting, especially in the rural areas. Because to cite one example, for example in Tagbilaran City, there is one regular school wherein there is a special education center wherein the children are being taught how to make school or athletic uniforms. I think that would be doable by the kids in the secondary level. Yeah, because right now here in the Philippines, we have this Vocational Rehabilitation Act, which had been established in 1954, wherein the Department of Social Welfare and Development should administer the implementation of the program, and they have established institutions where they could accommodate trainees. So I think that would also work with the Department of Education on the application of the vocational skills for secondary students. Thank you.
Can I just say something? Welcome to the meeting. I just want to recap this with my own just analysis or an idea. Now, we know that kids go to school up to 10th grade. That's your threshold, right? So it has its own objectives, it has its own content. Then you're moving them to 2 years of secondary education. Now, what would be the basis for the tracking them? Or what kind of tracks you're adopting, whether it's technical or general? So how you're going to track them? Based on what? Based on desire? I like. Or based on scores of the 10th grade? Based on specific scores in specific subjects? So that has to be clear. One. Second, and most important, and we know now the challenges we're facing everywhere. If kids going to choose based on I like, you might be swamped with all the children going into one track, which you cannot accommodate them. Then what are you going to do? Now, on the human capital aspect, what are you going to do with the economy if all the kids want to go this way? What about the other ways? Where are you going to get your doctors from? Where are you going to get your engineers from? From Malaysia or from Indonesia or from where? Now there must be a system first to think about the 10 years you have, the content you have, the competencies that kids have to acquire to finish the 10th grade, and then what's the 2 years going to look like? Now, of course, I might be traditional in my ways of looking into this, but always don't reinvent the wheel. Now, generally speaking, as everywhere it is, high school in general is general education. Some countries have left the vocational, technical, even secondary schools. They left them. They left them for something else. They go into general secondary education. Now, this general secondary education comprises what universities require to be admitted in a university. Whether you want to study engineering or you want to study arts. So your high school have to be somewhere there. Now, the most practiced model of high schools is the 2 tracks high schools. The scientific or science track and the liberal arts social sciences track. Or some countries, literally you may say the arts track. Now, as I said before, the sciences track takes you to all faculties of universities anywhere on earth. But the liberal arts, the social sciences take you to half university faculties. Because you cannot go to engineering or medical because you didn't have the requirements. You did not study physics, you did not have all these sciences. Now, keep in mind that don't reinvent the wheel. Don't introduce something going to complicate the lives of the parents. Don't complicate the lives of the kids afterward. And don't send them after 12 years from schooling to nowhere. That means they go to universities and universities don't accept them. Or universities would require them for a foundation year. Or they will say, you have to do prerequisites. Which I gave you example, the American system. So you can do a complete high school which has the placement courses. That means you have complete sciences, complete mathematics, complete everything. So Harvard, Berkeley, public school, university, they'll take you. Or you have the soft high school. Then they tell you, you still have to do math, this, you have to do this, then we'll accept you. That means you might do a year or 2 years to be accepted into university. So cautiously, I'm always talking about this because I see how liberal we are becoming and how liberal are people thinking about education, which is in the developed countries have not relinquished control by the state. The state still controlling the systems. The Germans would never move an inch on how rigid their